The special counsel's Russia probe will return next year, but now it's the FBI that's coming under mounting scrutiny, and for unexpected reasons. This week, FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe went before two House committees behind closed doors for official grillings over the Russia probe. But it's the FBI's handling of the Hillary Clinton email scandal that's suddenly coming into sharp focus. Congressman Matt Gaetz joins us from Florida with new information about his Judiciary Committee meeting with McCabe yesterday. Welcome, Congressman. So, what happened behind closed doors, and what are you allowed to say to us?
Well, Jesse, this was the first in what will be a series of confidential interviews that we'll be having with key witnesses that had a front row seat to the exoneration of Hillary Clinton, which seems to depart from the standard practices and procedures. So I can't share with you the specific questions or answers. I can share with you my reactions to them, and I can tell you three things that have been confirmed for me. First, Hillary Clinton absolutely got special treatment. Her process departed from the standard process most Americans would face. Second, she received that special treatment because she was a candidate for president. No other reason. Third thing that we absolutely know, there were people in the highest levels of this government that were doing everything possible to make sure that Hillary Clinton did not face consequences. Some of those very people have now migrated over to the Mueller probe and are persecuting the president of the United States without a valid basis. And that's why the work we're doing in the Judiciary Committee is so important.
All right, that's very interesting. So we all know that Hillary got special treatment from, the tarmac meeting to writing an exoneration letter before exonerating her, to softening the language to take out the criminality, to, she went in for an interview and wasn't under oath. So we know that happened. At this point, what are you going to do about it?
Well, we have to change the laws so that this can never happen again. We've also got to find out whether or not some of the bribes paid to the Clinton Foundation are actively disrupting the policies and priorities of the United States on a going forward basis. And until we have a thorough investigation of the potential bribes that the Clinton Foundation took and then the actions that fell as a consequence of those bribes, I fear that we won't truly know the depth of the corruption in the last administration. But we've got to change the laws so that never again can we have a circumstance where someone gets special treatment because of their political status or because they're a candidate for high office. That is not the blind lady justice that we promised the American people in this country under our Constitution, Jesse.
I agree with that 100%. So are you calling for a new or second special counsel to investigate Hillary and the foundation and all that?
Well, for 5 months now, Jesse, over 20 members of the Judiciary Committee have been calling for a second special counsel to investigate the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton email server, and the entire handling of that process. But what's so troubling to me is that the Attorney General has been sitting on his hands. Despite the fact that we've had these calls for a second special counsel, the Attorney General hasn't done it. And it's just a double standard when you've got this special counsel that has a limitless budget, limitless authority persecuting the president, and we're not looking at the real crimes from the real criminals.
Okay, so can I ask you, I know you're not allowed to say everything, but did you ask McCabe about that meeting where it was the FBI agent who hated Trump and his mistress? They were in this meeting and they talked about protecting the country from a Trump presidency and taking out an insurance policy if Trump was elected president. Did you ask about that?
Well, Jesse, I can't go into the specific questions asked and the answers provided, but I will say that when you look at the commentary from the mainstream media on that, they're just spinning because they have no idea how to explain it. But the American people
All right, listen, I'm going to assume that you asked about that because that is huge. I would assume that you did. Now, this is just breaking. I don't know if you know about it, but it looks like James Baker, who was the top lawyer in the FBI, was just reassigned. Turns out they found he had contact with this left-wing outfit, Mother Jones and David Corn. And 2 weeks later, after he had contact with them, they break the dossier story. Seems really suspicious.
Yeah, I don't think James Baker is a lawyer in this fact pattern anymore. I believe that Mr. Baker is a witness. And because he's a witness, I think he very well may be one of the next people called before one of these committees conducting a fact-based investigation, because certainly we've had at the very highest levels of the FBI and the Department of Justice a number of contaminating events that erode the American people's confidence in the unbiased nature of these critical institutions.
Well, it seems like the more people investigate, it's the Democrats that look guilty of corruption, not Trump. But we'll see. Anything could happen. And Congressman Gaetz, thanks for your service.
Thank you, Jesse.